They came from harbors scarred by rope, from inland roads of frost and clay, from candlelit rooms of trade and risk, and fields that would not wait till May. Some knew the patience of the soil, some the balance sheet and scale, some the careful weight of law and ink. All knew what failure would entail. They were not formed of sudden courage, nor certain of the path ahead. They argued late, they tallied losses, they weighed the living and the dead. Each word they said upon the page was more than sound or claim or plea. It was a door they closed behind them, with no return to who they'd been. These were the men of 1776, with burdened hands and steady minds, not driven on by promises, but by the narrowing of time. No safety waited past the choice, no outcome could be known, only the knowledge once it's taken, you must answer for it alone. Some would watch their wealth dissolve, some their homes be seized or burned, some would send their sons to weather what no father ever learned. The war was barely taking shape, the stores were thin, the powder scarce, and every mile they bought with patience only sharpened what it cost. And there were leaders in that moment who did not hunger for command, men who did that holding power meant knowing when to stay the hand. They learned restraint beneath the strain, learned silence had its place, that steadiness, not brilliance, was what fragile cause would take. These were the men of 1776 who chose the burden over delay, who traded comforts, borrowed hours for work that would not fade away. No anthem rose to soften it, no certainty to lend, just the weight of consequence that did not end when they did then. Outside the world kept moving on, carts rolled by, the harbor stirred, men returned to ordinary lives carrying extraordinary words. And north of there an army waited, ill-clad, unpaid, unsure what came, led by one who learned that patience outlasts impulse, speed and aim. So if you ask where nations form, look past the banners and the noise they form when ordinary people accept the cost that follows choice. Not because they're sure to win, but because there's no disguise. The moment when the future stops and asks you